Hello, my name is TALLPUP, and I'm the admin of Cubekrowd. Today is Saturday the 16th of 2016. I am going to record today's podcast of the Cubekrowd community meeting chat with the admin and staff. A few things first. One, I have a portal sound pack on my TeamSpeak, so instead of the user has entered your channel, you will just hear nice portal noises. Second, I had an issue with my mic and I realized that no one could hear me, and I think I got that fixed in the first question session. So the staff that attended was myself, Sad Dog, another admin on the server, Jane Gleed, a moderator, and Solo Swain, a helper. I've asked Tally Holt to moderate the room and explain the rules of the room and to bring users in one at a time to talk. So with that said, we will get on with the meeting. Thank you.
So first off, I want everyone in here to be respectful of other people's opinions. I don't want anyone to slander any admins or staff for maybe their decisions on what to do management-wise. There will be no swearing tolerated in this channel. If you do, you might be kicked from the server or the channel. And I hope that this is a productive meeting. Everything you have to say is relevant to the server or its people and staff. And if you just came in here to complain, then that's fine, but just do it properly. And constructive criticism is always allowed, but just be mindful of other people's opinions and feelings when doing so. Thank you. Now, if you'd just like to put into chat when you would like to speak, and then we'll give you talk perms. Oh, and thank you for coming along as well. It's good to see many people in here. Okay, XX unit.
Just call me
you
Tree.
have permission. Yeah, Tree.
So, I was just wondering because of the chicken thing. If you don't know, like, I like to do a big harvest of chickens, 300 plus. If we could like set a limit for like plots for chickens because they're entities in general, because I keep on getting like I'll come back from AFKing for like 5 minutes and they'll be gone because people complain about the server lagging. So like I was just wondering how many I could technically have.
I think this one's directed towards the admins and the staff.
Yeah.
So TALLPUP or Jane or Solo, I'll give you talk perms.
No, I'm going to type because I'm absolutely streaming.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Damn hay fever, I'm afraid.
All right.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, there should be a restriction on how many mobs or entities should be butchered at one time, because in the past, in survival, we've had issues with glitches when butchering. It's very dangerous, and if done incorrectly, can cause massive issues.
Yeah, because like no, when I first spawned them, I asked Solo, or no, I asked a member, and then what the TPS was. So I want to just know if there was any performance lag. So even if you could give members or trusted like the TPS command, I think that'd be helpful in order to make sure that we're not actually detrimenting the server in any way.
Yeah,
I think that's the admin's department, not mine. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's not really my place to comment either. But
okay.
That's why I didn't speak up.
Yeah, I only did it because it's kind of awkward. But
yeah, no, that's fine.
I think over 300 chickens is overdone, I have to say.
Yeah. No, it's just because I do like 300 chickens like once a week, and that's about it. I guess maybe next time when I do it, or Weeksley told me 50 right now. I think next time if I do something like that, I'll just do it like when it's 2 o'clock in the morning here, and it's like there's like 10 people on the server that aren't even survival. So yeah. Alright, that answers my question.
I mean, 50 seems reasonable.
Your
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
I
is
mean, 100's
appreciated.
probably pushing
Pushing
it.
Alright.
it. Yeah.
I just gathered y'all couldn't hear me, right?
Yeah.
No,
Alright.
no one can hear it all
Wow.
that.
Alright, yeah, a couple of things. We've got a plugin that manages mob spawning. It evens it out for all players. So that keeps one person from getting all the mobs and somebody not getting any. As far as peaceful mobs, you get too many in one spot, it really lags the server out. So we try to limit 100. Once you get over 100, you start lagging the server big time. So, it's best if you do them like 100 at a time. I mean, if you can have like 100 chickens in your farm, it shouldn't cause very much problems. But once you get like several in a chunk over 100, then yeah, it really gets taxing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And in
Thank
fact, we've got a plugin that we can look at and see who has so many mobs in a chunk. If it's too much, we'll go through and we'll kill them because we have to.
I kind of figured that because Weekly told me exact amount of chickens I had when
Yeah.
he killed
Yeah,
them all.
our plugin, we can literally pull up and see what chunk has the most mobs in.
All right.
And
Awesome.
if it gets around 100 or more, we have to go follow up behind it.
All right. Okay. Thanks for answering my question.
All right. Next. Tally, you want to
Oh,
pick
no.
spells?
Yeah, sure. I'll have you revoke to talk permission.
No, not yet. I'll just keep
Wow.
quiet.
Okay. Yeah, Melody, you will have the talking stick now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
On the subject of lag, how about lag from other farms? Would that be a deal?
Yeah, if something lags out the server, we're going to have to hunt it down and find it.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit concerned because mobs are not the only thing that lag.
You're right. Now, we're not going to issue anything saying you can't have clocks running or anything like creative. But, you should be mindful yourself, if you have to have it, but just don't create a whole bunch of them.
Like, I'm thinking about, like...
A lot of times you can run several things on one clock.
I'm
But
talking
most of
about...
the time, that doesn't bother the server, because we only got, 100 or two playing this one server where we got thousands playing creative.
Oh. Yeah, I'm more thinking about things like automatic farms and those causing lag.
Yeah, well, everybody's pretty respectful about that. So we haven't had a problem with that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, next person then.
Thank you, Melody, for your input.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just scroll up in chat and see who last asked. Okay, no one. So, would anyone like to say anything? Just put that in chat. All right, Spawn.
Oh,
You seem
hey.
unsure, but okay.
I was
Go ahead.
I was actually typing just now. I'm still trying to figure out how to put it into words. But yeah, I don't know. You'll have to wait on me for that.
Okay. Else in the meantime, I know there's been a lot of queries about the new hub rules. I think it would be best if we had someone verbally explain the changes to these conditions, and so maybe everyone could understand them more clearly.
Yeah, I can do that. You're talking about the Nether Hub, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we're doing the Nether Hub different this time, and it's very simple, but it's confusing a lot of people, and that's a fact. The hub is going to go north and south, as you figured out, and all tunnels will branch off east and west and go straight. Every tunnel center mark is on an X by power 10. So X1000, X1010, X1020. And that way, when you put your portal in the nether, all you have to do is look at your X, and you know instantly how far the aisle will be for the center. And then you know where to dig and you know that the north and south is at Z125 or negative 125, I believe. So you know exactly which way to dig and where the tunnel is going to be, even if there's not a tunnel there. You're allowed to decorate your tunnel any way you want to, but we ask that anybody is allowed to be added to the tunnel. So technically they're public. Instead of somebody claiming a tunnel and not letting anybody access it, that's not really fair or works with this system.
Okay, so you're taking a more communal approach to
Right.
a very communal area. That's fair.
The tunnel hub, all the tunnels are community. And, I mean, there's a standard width and a standard height. Now, you're welcome to build subways underneath them, build things on top of them. You can build your portal pie, make a ladder up to it or down low. We was thinking all portals will be at Y95, but we've retracted that because some people want a portal at the top and the bottom of their base, or some way up in the sky and someplace low. But we ask that the tunnels stay at that one level.
Okay.
You can make a ladder or a stairway going up and down off the side or something.
And about the design of the tunnels. Sorry. Okay, you go.
Yeah, one more point. You're allowed to dig through one tunnel to another tunnel. So if you've got a friend that's got a base 5 tunnels over and you want a straight shot over there, that's fine. Make openings through them. Or if your portal connects between 2 tunnels, make it open all the way up to between the 2 tunnels. You can put it in the center.
Just make it look pretty, yeah?
Yeah, we've got examples on my first plot up in the air. How some, different kinds of portals and how they attach. We've got a sample tunnel design, but you don't have to you can design your tunnel to be any way you want it to be.
And about the designs, if anyone else wants to continue on your tunnel, they have to use your design.
We're not going to make that rule. Because somebody might have a design that might be easy for them, but it's hard for someone else. But, if you want to transition into another look farther down the tunnel, we're not going to stop you. It'd probably be nicer if you did make it match, but that's up to you. You may want to vary it up a little bit.
Okay. Thank you very much. And we'll pass the... Sponicus, do you have your point developed yet?
Yeah.
Anybody got a question on this first?
Yeah, do that first.
Nick does. Yeah, let's address this while we're on the subject. Hidden tunnel.
You have permission.
So, with this whole public thing, hopefully nobody will build their nether portal, intruding or disrupting the tunnel, and make sure it's off to the side.
Goodbye.
Right? Not.
Yeah, don't make your portal open up and cross the tunnel. Put it on the side of the tunnel. It looks a lot nicer. It keeps people having to run through them, and portal noises are extremely loud now. So yeah, nobody wants to run through 20 portals to get to theirs. So yeah, put them on the side. Yeah, hidden doors on the tunnels. Yeah, but you don't have a lot of room. I think you got like 3 blocks between tunnels.
Yeah.
But because that's going to be kind of hard. Now, if you want to make a stairway go down, and you got all the room below the tunnel and above the tunnel to work with. If you want your the portal go sideways, you can stair step down on the side and go to another level, then put one. If you want a hidden door, if you can work that in somehow, I don't have nothing against that, Melody. But you just be respectful of the tunnel itself, so it works for everybody.
Okay, that's all I had to say.
Okay.
Made sure that was addressed.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, Melody. Yeah, a piston door. Yeah, a secret tunnel. Yeah, that's fine.
Would anyone like to address their point?
Anybody else got a question on the subject?
I finally figured out what I was trying to say, really.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but can UFO also get talk perms because this is about the end and we're both the end managers?
Oh, cool. Okay. UFO, you have talking powers.
Thank you.
So UFO, you want to start?
I'm shy. You go.
All right.
That's unusual for you, UFO.
So what we're currently like having trouble deciding is like what should be a time that we allot to have Ender Dragon fights like after the first one, like the refights, and because people will be using the end for the for like the Enderman farm for a majority of the time, but when people want to fight the Ender Dragon, it disables like it disables the end portal. So people who are farming in the end can't necessarily be in the end at the same time people are fighting the dragon. So what we pretty much came up with was that we want to have like a separate time for Ender Dragon fights and the Ender Dragon and the Enderman farming. So like for example, one day out of the entire month will be Ender Dragon fights, and the rest of the month will be open for the Ender. But we aren't necessarily sure what those should be, and we're just completely open to suggestions at this point. And if you want to like say something about it, go ahead.
Well, sorry. As we discussed the other day, I think it was Tool's idea of an arena. Sorry if I got the person who had the idea's name wrong, but then like you have an arena and like you leave it wrecked for a month, and then you could rebuild it, and then keep having it on a cycle of Enderman fights, and maybe an arena that looks a bit ruined for the fight.
For the arena, it can be a new or a ruined arena. That's up to whoever wants to design it and can come up with the coolest design. That's the inn manager's job. If it's made out of in stone and in brick, the dragon won't bother it. So, and you might want to make a few cool things that the dragon will destroy and can be rebuilt later. That's up to them, and I'll let them decide on that. As far as there's two ways we can handle this. We can either schedule a day, once a day, for each month or something like that for dragon fights, and have it all day, or we can make it where somebody can spawn the dragon anytime they want and have something in the EE where they can click on and go back to spawn. That's a little more cheaty, so I don't know how people will react to that, but that would allow dragon spawns anytime anybody wanted to.
All right, so John actually just said a pretty interesting idea. Actually digging out like an area by one of the end gateways on the other side and building the Enderman farm like right there. What do you guys think about that?
You're still going to have to access the portal.
Yeah,
I don't really like that. I'd rather
so
have
that
it.
the bridge to the Ender won't be destroyed.
The dragon won't fly to
Yeah,
the
the dragon doesn't go too far off of the island.
If another player's off the island, he will track them.
I think you spawn in the pad and run the other direction. Generally, you have to get so close to the dragon before he'll even notice you're there, so...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to risk it.
Because if you're going to do the end portal, then they're going to have to cross the island and throw an ender pearl into the end portal to get there, and... Yeah, that's just asking for a lot more time in the dragon zone. You will definitely have to go through the dragon zone for that.
Yeah.
And that's not a better idea.
With this idea of a monthly end fight, we'd have to make sure that anyone who is logged off at the end has done so responsibly and will not log back in when the fight is present.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You take from the obsidian and portal and go away from the island. And if you make it out in stone and or obsidian, the dragon won't tear up the path. And once you get so far away from the island, it's not going to matter. We just don't want people dying entering there.
With all their diamond enchanted stuff.
Yeah, or stuff to get enchanted. And definitely don't want them dying after they enchanted everything. I've done that several times and it's not fun.
Yeah, and the ender getting destroyed, that's a pretty major one.
Well, if it's 150 blocks of the island, it's never going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
dragon
that's
only
good.
stays within a certain radius of the fountain.
Yep.
If your island is really long, he'll never go to that long side of it. Not even chasing you. I think they have a certain radius they fight in.
And kind of an unrelated subject, but what about like a wither tree farm in the end, or would we use the nether for that?
Probably not a good idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Tall on that one.
Yeah, I can't see that working out too well. Probably could get it to where
we
it's
do one
maybe,
last
but
server?
a wither farm in the end, not that I know of. No.
Well, one in the nether, at least.
Well, one in the nether? Yeah, we had a wither farm in the nether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You can get that to work again.
All
But not
right.
in the end.
Okay.
No, there's no way we can give sneak peeks to plugins being developed.
Zero. There's still ways to break bedrock.
Actually, what Tree said, let's go. As we have a developer in house, we could have a better understanding of what is going on in the developer side. I think that would be helpful.
I can give some
If it-
insights to that. Let's if we're done with this subject, let's bring Tree in and talk about this.
Okay. Thank you, and Spawn and UFO for discussing that.
Yeah, thanks. Good topic. No, Tree. A lot of problems with plugins being developed. They're a work in progress, and sometimes, I don't want to get people's hopes up that a plugin's coming, and it's not able to be developed later on. So that's just bad practice. That's like kind of dangling something in somebody's face and then snatching it away, and it's, if we can make certain plugins work, we'll do it, and then we'll bring them to the community.
Yeah. No, like in general, I was just wondering, like, what way is the community and the server like headed, or like, is there like something that we want to like head towards, or if
Most of the plugins being developed right now are for staff. We do have the PvP plugin for the PvP server. We're evaluating different already made plugins. We've gotten some cool ones. The ones we wanted didn't work. We tested them and they didn't work for us. They either had classes that we couldn't edit or classes we couldn't get rid of or add. Some things just didn't work with our server plugin. Other plugins, they clashed. So, but I think we've found one now that's going to work. But all the ones we're looking at will have multi games.
okay,
So it won't be just TDM. It'll have stuff like Spleef and TDM and Free for All and Capture the Flag and a variety of different ones.
okay, so that's
And
what to
just to clarify, sorry.
so that's what to look forward to.
For what?
Look forward to, like.
Yeah, that's
That we may
that's
have in the near future.
Yeah, we're definitely planning on having it. And as soon as we can get all the issues worked out, we've got maps made. We're basically trying to get a plug-in that we like and get it set up. And we've had to pull off of that recently for the 1.9 updating. And that was a major task, and we got it done in record time, I think. And the server, all servers are now running on 1.9.2. So they're all up to date, and everything's working. And a lot of our plugins had to be rewritten custom. CK Pets were, the plugin we were using was eliminated and wasn't renewed. We had to rewrite it, the custom one. We had, Plot Me was discontinued. We had to rewrite it custom for 1.9. A lot of plugins. They just, when 1.9 came here, they said we're not updating them. We quit. So we just basically had to tracks helped us out big time. A lot of them, but all the devs didn't. They pitched in and really got things a
Now,
lot
do we
faster.
have like a change log for this server? Yeah. Just so if like anyone's curious, they could go see what's been updated or
No,
what hasn't.
we do not have something like that.
Okay.
Might be a good idea sometime in the future, but probably not
More
high
important
priority.
things, yeah. Okay. Yep. Thanks.
Well, we're recording this meeting anyway, so you could upload this to the site or have like a podcast section. Just because it would be great for other people who couldn't make it here to hear what's been said. But
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Cool. I actually have a little suggestion. So yesterday, I kind of thought, because I saw in survival there weren't that many people on, so I did /g list to see if there were, and there were 2 extra accounts in survival, and these were admin's alternate accounts. Now, what we've kind of been thinking, well, what I've kind of been thinking is that we could have an alt rank, and maybe from Trusted Plus, they would be allowed an alternate account to be able to load up their farms in survival. And this would be done using the same sort of link-up system which Regice had coded for TeamSpeak, the same principle, but use that for a Minecraft account. So let's say I link up and I get a special code that I have to give to my other account to link up, and then it gains the alt rank, and that can't be changed. So you'll have a permanent registered alt, which could be used in survival. Because I'm not meaning to like either cause issues here, but having like a special kind of power to have an alt rank is actually kind of game changing, because you could have a constantly loaded fishing farm, and that could be gaining lots of things. But also, to kind of argue what I'm trying to say here, you could have your main account constantly AFK. So it's either way, it's more of a feature. It's not a this could happen. It's more of a suggestion, just put it out there.
Okay, there was a lot of things you said there. Your suggestion wouldn't be very practical. Creating a new rank is not an easy task. It involves a lot of work, set up perms and everything. Plus, we'd have to sign a rank letter. We can't have 3 letters. Everything's a single letter digit. I wanted 3 digits for ranks, when that didn't get done. Everyone else refused, because I think it's confusing for mod and member. But so we worked out the bold system. But no, we can't do a separate rank. And the trouble with giving members and other people dual ranks on survival, in the past, that got really abused. For a few people, ruined it for everybody. They'd let their friend give them their alt account, and let their friend basically bypass every system to get member, and they just get free membership like that. And that's not fair to all the members who worked for it. But we have worked out a compromise. What we're going to do is allow as a rank. Every rank has its privileges and its permissions, and we're going to allow respected and above to earn member on the second account. And basically, if you get to respected level, you should be trusted not to do those things, and they will be able to get an alt account, but they'll have to earn it with their alt. But it can only be ranked as member, no higher. There really would be no use to be any higher. And if that respected abuses that alt account, then both accounts will be deranked.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That was a very thorough answer.
So that's the only compromise that we've kind of come up with, and that is in effect now.
Yeah, and for now, I think it's a kind of good idea to keep it admin plus, just like, well, not just admins, because you wouldn't abuse it anyway. So
Well, admins, and staff, they have to have alts for certain reasons. I don't have an alt, but it would be handy if I did. But yeah, like I said, ranks have its privileges, and being an admin, that you should at least have that privilege. But we are going to extend it down to respected.
yeah, well,
Because I mean,
thank
if you get to that rank, you should be able to. But we've had the problem in the past. Too many people. We've had a problem. Too many people on survival. It really hurt the server, and we had to limit it for a few hours. But we fixed the lag problem and unlimited it. But if everybody had 2 accounts on survival, it would be an issue.
It would be absolute chaos. I agree.
Yeah.
It was more of a question for people that also agreed with me in chat when I suggested it. So yeah, that's all good. Thank you for answering that in such depth. Now, would anyone else like to either add to that or possibly suggest something else?
Melody wants to.
It's about creative.
Okay.
So this is something I've wanted for a long time. So maybe a testing world for trusted or respected plus for testing things involving mobs and entities.
Sounds great and nice, but that could get out of hand really fast. As in, certain somebody in Ender Dragons.
Well, can't we restrict the kind of entities they use?
It'd be nice if there was such a plugin, but we don't have something like that.
And right now, all the resources of the devs are probably focused on PvP and other such projects.
Our devs are maxed out with plugin writing right now, so we're trying to prioritize to some more important things.
Yeah, I've always wanted some kind of, I guess, feature that allows you to test farms without doing single player testing.
Yeah, for a while we had it where you could spawn like a limited amount. There was a command, I want more, in the type of mob, and but that broke. So we don't have that anymore.
Or at least there should be maybe a world where you can use spawn eggs or something like that.
Yeah, like I said, we had some before, and if there is a way that we can do it again, we will. But it's not possible at the moment.
Oh.
Okay, next person, let's get a Morax. He hasn't talked yet. Morax a lot.
Okay, Immortal. Hello?
One question is client-side modifications. It's kind of outdated. So, one question is Gamma 1000. Is that okay?
You changing your gamma on your monitor? Yeah.
No, I mean in the game. The actual game to basically give yourself free night vision.
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I keep my brightness up, and if I could do my gamma, I would, but
yeah,
I don't like playing in the dark.
Also, swear filter.
Some people do.
There are a couple words that don't work. The one that I really want to say is harass. If somebody was to say, "Dude, stop harassing that guy," you can't say that because it contains the A word, and so. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. No chat filter is perfect.
Yeah, so that's one word. And I had when are the PvP betas gonna start, so that donators and trusted above can play it,
We're working on it. I mean, it's a work in progress, and as soon as we can get it to that stage, we will. But there's no way out. I can know that, or even predict it.
Okay, and I had a suggestion, have it always on the dragon fight on the first day of the month, every time.
Yeah, we'll pick the first day of the month or the last day or something like that. It'll be a constant,
Okay, finally, /version. It's one of those commands that I've kind of always wanted. could we have that command? Because
It's been suggested and we've talked about it, and if we can work it out, we might.
okay, because same thing.
But, I mean, basically talking about rewriting the permissions for every single group. Just, it sounds simple, but it's a lengthy
Yeah,
task.
it's not. I kind of know. I only have like 3 plugins on my server, and it's still hard. Okay, yeah, I think that's all.
To expand on your swear filter, I think it's a good idea. Maybe you should make a white list of words if you were to introduce one, to not include such as harass, because of that content and the word formation. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah,
So-
like it's just if it gets blocked, you would also check if it's on the whitelist, and if it is, then you unblock it.
Yeah.
Well, we've whitelisted a few words like glass that are necessary, but a lot of words aren't necessary. And if it just gets blocked, and there's always another word that means the same thing. Other words that mean harass. So
is necessary. So yeah.
well, then that'd be a good one to put in on the suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all now. Oh wait. Oh, one other thing. UHC. Are we gonna have UHCs?
We did get permission for UHCs, and after we get the PvP plugin worked out, then that would be the next thing I'd like to start on, for as additional server.
Okay, cool. Like we could have scheduled UHCs. That would be pretty.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of UHC, and I'd like for us to have a UHC server.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wait, did we not get the old UHC plugin from the old admins and devs and whatnot? Because that was a really good plugin that they had developed.
No, we didn't get
a long
it.
time.
When James left at one point in time, he deleted everything. So we just had to start. I wasn't admin at the time, so they had to start over. I mean, as far as I'm certain, no, the world was never saved. Nothing was. So
okay, well that's unfortunate, and
they
there's
had
people
one
that want to ruin it.
But there's would have to go with the 1.9 plugin anyway. So
Okay. Yeah, I think that's all.
And there's some good ones out there, so we'd probably be able to use ones out there or a custom one ourselves. Probably have to customize one ourselves, but
yeah.
And I'd like for it to be pretty well basic standard.
Yeah, no kits. I don't like kits and that stuff. That just screws with the game and stuff. It takes away all the skill.
The Hypixel's version.
You can have an iron pickaxe. I don't like that.
Hypixel's first version was kind of fun, but then they went way overboard with it. So I like the standard.
Yeah, just plain old UHC like Cubekrowd or something.
But I've not played the other servers, so but just a plain regular standard UHC. And maybe once in a while we might add a fun factor into it or something for a special event, but
yeah. And we could maybe even have Missile Wars tournaments or something. That'd be cool. All minigame tournaments.
Yeah, well, CubeAnswers talked about a tournament for Missile Wars a few, occasions, but basically I'm pretty sure he's too busy to do it. I mean, he wants to, he'd like to, but it's just not practical for him right now. He's busy developing new games. We do have Missile Wars 2 planned to come soon as it's available. We'll get early access to it and get exclusive on it.
Okay, I think that's all now. Yeah.
Which, if anybody hasn't heard about the new Missile Wars 2, it's going to be a 4-way. There's going to be 4 teams, and they're going to cross in the middle.
Ooh, that's going to be interesting. So it's going to be red, green, blue, yellow, or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll all intersect in the middle. So it sounds interesting and quite fun.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mortal Axolotl, for your suggestions. They've been pretty helpful and also cleared a lot of things up for people.
Okay, thanks.
Could we have a suggestion for the next speaker who would like to have an idea? Okay. Luke suggested
Luke, H and A, H and M, bold. You're not going to tell who's helper and who's mod.
Yeah, we had helpers as bold at first, but it looked like a bold M. I mean, you had to strain to see the difference. So we gave helpers the mod color, and we had to unbold them. So yeah, we had that in the very beginning.
It's a matter of font and how it looks rather than, you know what I mean.
In fact, if you look in chat, in the game, I'll give you an example.
As a lowercase
Okay,
ranks,
look at
don't
the
look
chat
that
in the
good.
game. See the H and the M? You can tell side by side, but if they're not side by side, that M looks like an H. And H kind of look like, because they've got the crossbar on the H really high.
Okay, well, does anyone else have another idea they'd like to suggest, or any bugs, or anything that's kind of annoyed them that they'd like changing, or well, not really annoyed them, but they've just got a problem with? Well, it seems that this meeting's actually maxed out TeamSpeak, so it's actually a problem. I don't think we can upgrade TeamSpeak just because it would be either too much expense, and for a like a weekly thing, it's the only time of the week when it really gets flooded. So if we had people on,
I can make
like
room for a few more.
Yeah, if we had like a maxed out TeamSpeak constantly, then we'd understand the need to upgrade TeamSpeak. But right now, everything, the whole average player
Someone
count
is
is
going
quite
to get
low.
badly
It's just
hurt.
a few times a month where it really gets full. And if you want to make a Discord group, you just might want to get permissions from Tool now to do that, because there have been some problems in the past with creating external groups without permission.
Well, right now
Yeah.
we have bought a license, and to get a license that allow more than 35 people is really expensive, and it's just not necessary. Most of the time when we max out this room, we got people not of Cubekrowd here, so we just eliminate them. So, and then we have room.
And we've got the Redstone Rager coming on with another thing he'd like to address. So I'll just add him some powers now. Okay, you've got the microphone.
Alright.
Whoa, you've got a clownfish tool on.
There. So okay, so I was gonna say something about the fact that players can. I was gonna ask about players living near each other, because like we have I think it's 300 block or something like that limit.
200 block, unless you have permission.
Yeah. So I was wondering if two people were wanting to live next to each other, or if you could, if one asked another person, would they be able to live within that?
Certainly. Yeah, if you are a friend, or if you want somebody, if you don't mind somebody living near you, then that's fine. We just ask that you kind of get permission. We don't want, somebody moving in, 20 blocks from somebody else's house, and they go like, oh, well, I was going to build a farm over there. That's, or, I had a view of the water, and then they're building this big mountain, house between me and the water,
Yeah.
So we just ask that if you build that close to somebody, then, you just check with them. If they don't like it, then, just move on. You also can claim, a certain amount of land. We ask you to be respectful about that. Some people, UFO kind of claim a humongous area, but that can be for him. Not a lot of people want desert, and there's a lot of desert where he's at, so.
Yeah. Also, for land claiming, people claim that. So I came to this island, and this guy kind of got mad at me for.
Before you cut out. Yeah, if somebody claims a little island, or an island, they usually want it the island. There's a lot of islands out there. If you want an island, there's tons of them up north. Tons of them.
Yeah.
In fact, there's so many of them up there in one spot that you could make little bridges between them all. It'd be kind of a cool place.
All right.
But yeah, especially if you think about somebody goes down and makes strip mines underneath their base, they want a little room. And if you built right next to them, you're going to be in the same strip mine area. So, that's best for friends. And there's a lot of people that want a lot of people. They want a town. They want a lot of people around them. So, And then some people want to just be out by themselves.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey,
A valid point, Azza.
So
How will
anybody-
claimed and abandoned areas be handled?
I can give them talk perms for that.
Well, pretty much that was the question. If someone is claiming an area and then pretty much abandon it, how will it handle and how long time will it need to be abandoned before something happens, and etc. etc. etc.
If you abandon the place, that you should mark that it's abandoned. Or
Yeah,
free,
but I
mark
mean
it
like
free.
more like someone claimed it but never really built anything, it's never joining again and so on.
We'll check if that person. Well, I mean, there's times where people claim an area and start building, then they get grounded from the computer for 2 months or whatever, or
Have a
they
nice
move,
UK holiday.
or yeah. So we want, when they come back, they would be able to continue. So
Yeah, but should they have to at least build something, or is like if you just claim an area but never builds anything on it?
Well, in the past, like if say somebody claims a witch hut, and then somebody else comes along and wants a witch hut, and they find that one, and we'll check and see if that person hasn't been on the server for a year, then we'll allow them to take it over. But they have to get staff to get permission for that.
Okay. And the other part, I think we took up the overclaiming. Like, if someone claims an enormous area, what's the limit? Do we have a fixed limit?
We don't have anything per se in writing, but if you get excessive with it and somebody complains, staff may step in and.
Do they have a guideline? Do they have what's reasonable?
We don't have any guidelines on that. Hopefully, we don't. We got a good base community that we won't need that.
For example, if there's a rather big island, of the size of the spawn island, is that an area you could claim for yourself? That size?
If you think you can manage that much room, then yeah.
I mean, one person's going to want less space than 2 or 3 people building together.
Yeah, of course, but
there is somebody that's claimed a Mushroom Island similar to the size of Spawn, and they are actually converting the whole thing over, and they're making use of every inch of it. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. But to claim an area, a huge area, and not do anything with it, then yeah, that might get people upset, and staff might have to step in and say, okay, they can't have this much room. But there should be enough room for everybody out there right now. I mean, we're going to go to 10K. We did that in 1.6. There was a ton of chunks never even loaded that much room of all the people came. And the server was a lot busier then in Survival than it is now.
Yeah.
As busy as it is.
Huh?
So.
I can't think of anything else at the moment, so.
Okay. Thanks for the question.
No problem.
Hey, Tor.
Yes.
About that first question about being able to claim over the other person's benefit, what happens if they're overseas as well?
What happens if what?
If they're overseas on holidays.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to be gone a really long time.
Yeah.
We're talking 6 months, a year, or something like that.
And if there's actual proof that they haven't done anything with a base, so if they've just had an underground base and you've been thinking they've been offline for however long.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to be very careful because.
And it might be okay. You want to build next to them, and you can, and we might allow you to build in their area, and kind of keep an eye out for their stuff and keep on their property, and then you share it with them. But we're not going to give, even if someone's banned, we've never given permission for someone to go over there and raid their stuff. That's still their stuff. That's still their build. If that person's banned, then everybody leaves it alone.
Yeah.
If somebody who needs that area wants it, then they can talk to staff. But yeah, we even Dumbledore's place on the old server, when he got permanently banned, we did allow staff gave permission to go over there and get the beacons for a public farm, but no one was allowed to go over there and raid his base. Raiding somebody else's base is just cheating and is not fair. It's just it's kind of.
That's just as bad as they were in the first place.
It's just not a way to play a game, I don't think.
Yeah. The only reason I suggested about the overseas part because, as you already know,
Dumble was banned he had 7 perm bans and was allowed to come back on the server, misbehaved, and we had an admin here a long time ago that used to let him get unbanned when he was perm banned. That admin's no longer here. So that won't happen again. Yeah, Dumble.
Anything that may affect your decision-making skills, I think there should be fair treatment. There should be consideration for these people, but as far as leniency goes, we've got to be very careful, and that was an instance where we weren't very careful. Does anyone else have any more questions?
Anybody else like to have a talk? Bring up a question. You got one again, Tree.
So, do we own the Dying maps for Cubekrowd? Like, do we own like that whole plugin or not?
Dynamap is a public plugin you can download. Okay. But the map exists on our server.
Okay.
The plugin's loaded our server, and the map is taking up our hard drive.
Yeah, because I was wondering if if we can make a command in like chat to mark your home. So like, say you want to mark your home and you want other people to know where you're living. Say you just do like / mark home, and it would show up on Dive Maps as like that. But
no, but you can go up in the sky and put your name in the air up above it, and it'll show up on the map. Or write it on the ground.
Never thought of that. I might go do that right now.
Put your face icon up there in the air or something. Or if you got a short name, but you could abbreviate it, or put your face, or if you got a banner logo or something to identify yourself. Red X probably wouldn't do too well because that wouldn't really tell who's what.
Okay. Yep. Thanks.
Anybody else have a question? There you go, John. Yeah, fixable.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much the last of the questions here. I'd just like to point out, if anyone wants to have a last, okay, well, Azza, that's a pretty legit question. Give you talk perms for that. Okay, go ahead, Azza.
Yeah, TALLPUP, what is your favorite food?
Pizza.
What kind of pizza? What do you want on it?
I like seafood. I love shrimp. Lobster's good, but shrimp is really great. I mean, but yeah, pizza's always good. Ham, pepperoni, and bacon. I like. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Do you think it's too far to put anchovies on your pizza? Or
I've had anchovies before. They're not that bad. I don't really want them on a pizza, but that's not that bad. They get a bad rep, but it's just a salty little tiny fish thing.
So you don't want a lot of bacon and such on them?
Yeah, I love the porks. Give me a pork
John
pizza.
just typed something in chat about charred creeper farm.
We got a pizza place around here that has bacon, Canadian ham, and cheddar cheese. It's called a pork
Canadian ham?
Yeah.
What is Canadian ham?
Sorry, Canadian bacon.
What's Canadian bacon?
It's like bacon that looks more like ham.
Is it?
It's a sorry, I assume.
It's not turkey, no. It's pork.
Is it very apologetic?
I don't know. It's like pig smell if you frown.
I'll pass it over to John Star now. He asked a question about a charged creeper farm near spawn, as Jane said. So,
more reasonable question, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a very important one for the future of the server, so thank you very much, Azza.
No problem.
Okay, John, I think you have perms, though he's not here.
He can't talk.
You can't talk, okay. What's your question? Type it and we'll read it.
Yeah, Luke, he can't talk right now.
Yeah, I mean, individuals are working to make their own charged creeper farm, but they wouldn't be able to do that at spawn. In fact, that's the whole purpose of having the spawn we have is there's no creepers.
On another note, I Am Togs just said that the Quad Witch Hut needs diggers. In this case, is the Quad Witch Hut an open project? Like, will we be allowed to contribute and in turn have allowance to the farm, or is it a public farm?
It will be a public farm.
Okay, well, I don't see why it's not been advertised. I remember digging out a huge perimeter. Well, what I thought was huge back then. So I think it's a 256 by 256, but it seems like you guys need some help with that. So
yeah, I've advertised in chat a few times. Anybody wants to help dig out the Quad Witch Hut perimeter, all the help that we can get will be welcomed. And you can just message I Am Tog, and he'll point you in the right direction and show you where you can dump your stuff. They got an auto sorter to dump your blocks that you pick, and they're being recycled. So,
okay,
this auto sorter over there. Very nice setup.
Awesome. Well, I think that just about wraps up the whole talk for today. That was it was pretty good. We got a lot of questions answered, and hopefully we got around to all of you.
Dev's just asked how long the world border's staying there.
It started the world border started at 6K. It's slowly expanding out, and it'll stop at 100K. Should get there in a 2-month period, or maybe it was 3.
10K.
10K. Sorry, 10K. I said it wrong. Yeah, it started at 6K and it's expanding out to 10K, and it's going to stop. It's going 1,333.3 blocks a month. So it won't take long.
I have something to add to that because I've recently been out to the border. It seems like we are incrementally expanding it, so it'll be the end of the month. It'll get another around 3,000 blocks.
Yeah, every month it expands out 1,333 blocks. Yeah, 10K is be the border from spawn. So it's 10K in every direction. So basically it'll be a 20K by 20K circle.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I have another little question to ask about the ranks and possibly administration to go with that. So where we have lots of members in chat who I know have been on this server for a while, I know that the recognition for it goes into an application form where it's like it's not a beg for trusted or anything, but there are a lot of players that are deserving and maybe feel too awkward to come out and say. I'd say that with this new meeting, as I think that it's been quite effective, and possibly, I don't know the feelings of all you guys, but is it more effective than a form in a way? Would you say that you appreciate talking to people instead of just writing it out? Yeah. I think that if we could have these more regularly, it would increase the contact between everyone else on the server, and it would end up we'd have a more closely knit community with more people possibly who haven't talked to each other before ending up communicating, and you know that's possibly a way of like making new friends on the server. But yeah, I'm pretty happy that all of you guys turned up and chose to ask as many questions as you did.
Yeah, once a month might be a good time.
Yeah.
Something like this. It seems like the feedback's been positive right now. If we get a lot of positive feedback on it, we'll maybe continue having some more of them.
Yeah, I mean,
we can do them on a regular basis or just every once in a while.
We could do like 2 a month or something in case there's like PvP comes out, then maybe 2 a month would be necessary. But you know, the intervals will be decided, and I'd say that if you are a regular attender, like if you regularly attend these meetings, then I think that you should be considered more for promotion, especially those members going up to trusted. It's a very hard gap, and showing maturity by obviously coming into these meetings, it's pretty hard to speak on the spot for them, and I've got to say they've done really well. So if we could possibly just like recognize in the future that if they come more regularly, then they will be rewarded and with trust.
I think that might be going a little too far. Coming here, and I'd get people coming here for the wrong reasons.
But contributing, like as in actually.
Anytime you contribute, it's going to help you out.
Yeah.
No matter how you do it, and there's many ways to do that. Many ways. That's why we won't tell people how to do it, because there's so many ways. You just need to find the one that's right for you.
Yeah. Cool. I wasn't necessarily saying just because you're coming on to these, it's a reason alone, but if you know you're contributing, you're being very friendly and helpful on the server, it's a positive direction to go. Cool. Well, thank you all for coming.
Yeah, thank you, and we had a lot of good questions, and I've wrote down some good notes, and I've recorded it, so maybe I can get this uploaded in the near future.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you all. All right.
Bye.